I'm Joost from Kids Toy Studio and I'm here with Lego's Tales of the Space Age, and this is quite a different build than you're used to from Legos. So teenagers can build this for their room, of course, but it says 18 plus on the box. I think that's because this is more geared towards adults, but of course you can build this with your teenager as well. If they're really into space, then they might like this for their room. But this is part of the Lego Ideas range, and that means that a fan submitted this, then Lego reviews it. If it's viable to make, then you can vote on making a set like this, and eventually this became a new Lego product. Now this is pretty cool because these can stand on their own. They're 14 centimeters or 5.5 inches high and 9 centimeters or 3.5 inches wide. So they're not too large and not too small. And I think they look really cool. I like the space exploration thing, and I don't have a lot of art in my home, but I like the fact that these are Legos. You can build them and then display them on your bookcase. So that's pretty cool. Now these are 688 pieces, so that's nice. Each of these has its own separate book, so you can do one in one go. It took me about half an hour to put one of these together. So you can stop and do another one another day and have a total of 2 hours of building time. And of course some of these cool things to display in your home. So this really is a new way for Lego to explore ways to build with their building pieces. They are all regular Legos, so you can combine these with other sets if you'd like, but the building of these is just a little different. So if you like space exploration and Legos, or you have a kid who does, you can build this together. So this is a great present or a great set to build for yourself. The Lego 3-in-1 Space Roller Coaster. I'm Joost from Kids Toy Studio and I'm here with the Lego 3-in-1 Space Roller Coaster. Now the cool thing here is that you can build 3 different types of buildings here. Now the Space Roller Coaster is the one at the front of the box, so this is build 1, and you get 3 separate books, so you can make each one of these. So that's pretty cool. So it really is a lot going on here. Now you can see you still have a few blocks left, and that's always cool that Lego does that, because when you lose some you can still build this thing, and some you might need for one of the other builds, but almost all of the blocks are used here, and that's well cool that Lego is able to do that, make 3 distinct different sets and still use all of the pieces. So these are all carnival rides. This is a roller coaster. You can make like the spinny thing where the spaceships go around really fast, and you can make a cool space rocket where the seats shoot up, and all of these are in space theme. So this is a great gift for anyone, for any kid who loves space stuff. Now the cool thing here is that it's also glow in the dark. So you have a few of these dots here, and these are glow in the dark, and one light brick is also in here, so that can give a little light here. As you can see, this comet has a little light, so that's also quite cool, especially if you play with this in the dark. It's not really advertised as glow in the dark, but I think that's a nice extra feature here that you get. Now there's a lot of detail here. You have the comet that can give light, and that's made with a Lego light brick. So if you push that, it will give light, and the batteries are already in there. Of course you have all of the detail here with the space logo sign, and this is a little bit of like Lego dots. I don't know if you know that. With Lego dots you get all of these flat Lego pieces, and you can make cool patterns. And they've used that a little bit here, like with the space logo right here. And of course you have the cart that can go around the track, and this can go around the track quite easily. These are specially made Lego carts for this. So they have wheels on them, but they also clamp right here onto the track, so they don't come off very easily. So this really rides, well, it's not motorized. It might be because it said battery included, but it's not motorized. But it does roll quite well by itself, and it won't fall off because of the clamps in there. And when they go across here, this one moves, so that's a pretty fun thing as well. There's just a lot of detail here. One of my favorite things was building this little thing right here. It's like the little bouncy toy that you always have near malls or near carnivals, and you can twist this thing here and it will it will move. I think that's quite ingenious. But that also explains these things why this is for 9+, because this is the first build you do, and it's immediately a quite difficult technical Lego, so my son really needed a little help with this. Of course you can build this with a little bit younger kids. My son is 5, but I had help quite a lot with this, and it is a large set. It has 874 pieces, so this can take you all afternoon to build, or if you have smaller children you really need to do this in several steps. Of course, having all of these separate bags helps with that. But this was my favorite. I mean, look at that little space guy. It's the classic Lego space person with that classic smile, but just then in a really miniature version. So that's one of my favorite things here about this whole set, just that little guy. Of course, this guy in a spacesuit is really cool as well. I mean, this is a really cool helmet, so getting that for this set is quite cool as well. And you have 2 children, so there are 5 characters in total, 2 employees, 1 maintenance person, and the space guy right here. So that's also pretty cool. And I really loved building the alien in here in the rock with the tentacles. That was a pretty cool thing. So building this, it could have been quite repetitive because building the base wasn't that interesting. This is a very large base and you just need to click the different large blocks onto each other. But what they did is they first did one section and then you could build all of these other extra cool things, and then they just added on the second section in a later part of the book. So you didn't have to build this whole base all at once. So I think that's what kept it a lot more interesting for me. And what was really cool to build here was this space dock here where the people can move through and then get into the carts right over here. And then on top there's like this little dome with plants, so a little mini space dome where they grow the plants. So there's really a lot of detail here. I love building it, and my 5-year-old has been having a lot of fun with this. So I really recommend it for any kid, if you're helping out or not, whether they're a little bit younger or 9 years old, like it says here on the box, who are really into space.
I'm Joost from Kids Toy Studio, and I'm here with this LEGO Friends Space Academy set. And this is very, very large. I mean, look how cool this is. You have the space rocket, the space shuttle here with like the astronaut guy that can get out and repair stuff. And then the academy here and even some more. So let's look at that. So there's a lot going on here with some very cool things. It is a very large set. It took us about 3 hours to fully put together, I think. It says 8+ on the box, but I did this together with my 6-year-old. He was able to do most of it by himself. Just needed a little help here and there to get all of the pieces in the right place. But if you're willing to help just a little bit, you can do this with little younger kids. And this is one of the few LEGO Friends set that my son enjoys as well. So that's pretty cool. They made a cool mix here of LEGO Friends, which is often more geared towards girls. And then combined that with some cool Lego Technic pieces as well. So my son really loves Lego Technic, so that's cool. And also the theme is just really, really cool. So you get the Space Academy here with the planets in the right order from the distance of the sun, which is cool. Then you get, and I thought this is really cool, a cool sliding door here. So the guys can go through there. And then you get this training area where you can put the little guys and girls in, little astronauts in, and they can, here with gears as well, turn this to prepare them for their journey. Then everyone has helmets here, so that's also very cool. Then a little space probe as well that you can send out from the space shuttle, and everything closes very easily here. You can add this space probe right back on there, so you can extend that, and then this closes, and here this opens up, so you can easily put the minifigures in there, and then it closes again. Then you have 4 characters with it, and I like the fact that it is pretty diverse, so you have men and women, but also people of color. So LEGO Friends always does a great job of that. And then up here you have like this thing that can fold out, so they can go into the space rocket. So that's also pretty cool, and you can set that down like so here with like this rolling platform, so they can go in. So it really looks like a space station and a Space Academy. Here's another figure, and then this is also cool. You can turn this around, and then the Earth and the Moon turn around their orbit around the Sun. You see how the Moon turns a lot faster than Earth, so that's also very inventive. and also educational on how this works with the gears. So I thought that was really, really cool that they did that. And of course here on the inside there are a lot of details. So this is a very cool set. And I really recommend this for anyone, well, any space fan, but boys and girls can play with this. And it's just an overall great set.
Hi, I'm Joost from Kids Toy Studio, and I'm here with the Lego City Interstellar Space Ship. And this thing is a really cool build. So there's a lot going on for it, and even some Lego technical pieces. Now it says 6+ on the box, and my 6-year-old was able to do this mostly by himself. He made one mistake where he put a little Lego piece in the wrong spot, and then we had to do something over. But other than that, if you're willing to help just a little bit, they should be able to do this just fine. Even 4 or 5-year-olds should be able to do this with a little help from you. So that's pretty great. Now, if your kid is into space, then this is a really cool thing to get them. So this little Lego space person here has a cool jetpack, which is a nice addition with a battery right there. And then the spaceship is really awesome. Now you have the part up front here, where the little Lego person can sit with a display, which is cool. But the most cool thing about this is when you press this, the back comes out with all of these lights, and this is like an afterburner, so it can go extra fast. So I think they really made something cool with this. And the push button here, which is quite a cool system to build, is like a cool little motor or something. And then these can flap so it can slow down. So that's actually really cool. So it was a fun build. It took us about 45 minutes, I think, to fully put this together. So it's a nice build, and then you can play with this as well. Now the book is quite easy to use. You have all these steps like with all Lego books, and with 6-year-olds there aren't too many steps in one space, so you can easily create this. So the hull is just one big piece, and then the spaceship is built around that. So if your kid is into space, I really recommend this one. It's a great way to learn about these spaceships. It isn't very realistic, of course, but the way that works with the motor and the afterburner that pops out here, I think that's a really cool Lego Technic piece within this, well, Lego City set. So I really recommend.